Well, hey, what's up, everybody? We got no Andrew Spay, but it is still the very best show on the internet. It is Who's Number One, the show. We're number one. I'm up here at the desk. I got JD Raider. And
I get promoted back up to the big desk.
It's a big promotion. Show. It's Promotion Thursday here at Who's Number One, the show. But not for Andrew Spay. He's been demoted for the week.
For the week, yes.
And then we'll see what happens next week. But NCAAs went down in Tulsa last week. Insane. I was here in the studio feeling a little bit like I was missing out, but I was watching it. JD, how was it? How was Tulsa?
It was great. The atmosphere was great. The BOK Center, a little chilly, but all around good things to say about BOK, Tulsa, and all the fans that were there. Sometimes I am jealous. There's nothing like being there in the environment. It's great. But sometimes, you miss a match because
you're working.
You're working, or even just, you're focusing on one thing because you don't have them all necessarily right in front of you, depending on where you're sitting. Where it's sometimes it's nice just, kick your feet up, sit on a couch, and have all the screens there right in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was nice. It was fun being here in the studio, watch party with John Kozak. It's still crazy. You still miss stuff, but yeah, it was fun. It was awesome to do it. We had great people in the chat, good friends to chat with. But listen, we could talk NCAAs forever. In fact, you guys have already done it, FRL.
Yep.
If you guys want to hear NCAA talk, go there. There's a lot of good stuff. We could talk about it all day, but we got high school rankings to talk about. We had an update, just came out this week, kind of recapping the end of high school state championship season, but we've got big things to come. It's NHSCA week. It's Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic week. Two awesome events on the high school calendar. JD, I got a quiz for you. You maybe already know the answer.
Quiz me.
How many of this year's NCAA finalists do you think have wrestled in the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic?
I don't know it. I did overhear you say it.
Okay.
But I can't remember. But I do remember being surprised at just how high it was. Hit us with it.
It's 11. 11 of the finalists were
That's over 50.
Yes, over 50%. 11 out of 20 in the NCAA finals were also in the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic, and 6 of the champs. So over half.
50% too.
Over half. Yeah, really good. So that event is really fun. It's an awesome showcase event. I think if you're looking for 2 showcase events on the calendar, it's Who's Number One, and then it's Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. And we've even got a Who's Number One rematch happening there. It's going to be Josh Barr, Rocco Welsh, Part 3 going down. So there's a lot of good stuff. We'll get into Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. That's an awesome event. So is NHSCAs. You look at NHSCAs, and it's a great event on the calendar. 20 years ago, it was where a lot of these top seniors went to, as marquee. They tried to go there to get discovered. Well, now they're on the radar. So NHSCA, you got to follow it for a different reason. It's not going to be all the number ones and number twos, but what it is going to be is next year's ranked wrestlers. You go back through and look at that list. They're going to be guys that started putting themselves on the map here at NHSCAs in Virginia Beach. So you got to watch both these events. NHSCAs, over 5,000 participants, like 5,300.
That's ridiculous numbers.
It's crazy numbers. Tons of really good action. They break it down freshman, sophomore, junior, senior division for boys high school. There's also a middle school division and a girls high school division. So there's a lot to look forward to. And we'll dive into all of that. First, we can kind of talk through the rankings. We had a little bit of an update. Not a ton of changes, but we'll point them out where they happened. At 106 pounds, Keanu Dillard, he started this season injured for Bethlehem Catholic, but he finished it on top. He won his state title as a freshman. He looked really good doing it. On the AAA side of things, AA and PIAAs, it was Aaron Seidel beating Dominic Deputy in the finals. Aaron Seidel now a 2-time PIAA champ. So you got a AA champ who's done it twice as a sophomore and a AAA champ who got it done as a freshman. So
I gotta say, Dominic Deputy, that's a great name.
It's a great name. Yeah. Dominic Deputy, really tough too. Just a freshman. So good things to come for him. So yeah, really good stuff there. 113 pounds. We didn't have, crazy results there. Nate Desmond, a sophomore, he won his second state title in Pennsylvania. He looked really, really good doing it.
Second title's just sophomore.
Just a sophomore.
To be a 4-timer.
Yes, he still has the chance to be a 4-timer. He looked really good. Over in New Jersey, Logan Roman of Old Bridge gets into the rankings. He's a state champ in New Jersey. He's a junior, but first time state champ. He beat ranked wrestler Jaden James in the semis, and that's really the win that gets him in the rankings. But congrats to him. He's a state champ. So awesome stuff there. 120 pounds. We had a lot of ranked wrestlers in action across the country between Pennsylvania and New Jersey, Minnesota, that type of stuff. Ohio. Marcus Blaze won his title. Anthony Knox won his title. Gage Botero won his title. He's going to be at NHSCAs. He's all registered up, so good. More to come from Botero. Gage, so Gage Botero, that's a PIAA title. Then Cale Nasdio, Penn State commit. Mm-hmm. He enters the rankings, comes back into the rankings. He's been out for a little while. He beats Mason Ziegler in the finals, and he wins the title. So he's back in. He's number 14 now.
Impressive stuff.
Yes, great stuff there. 126 pounds. We had, let's see here. We had Alan Kohler getting it done in Minnesota. Vinny Kilkiri, now a 3-time PIAA champ. Or 2-time.
Three-time.
Freshman.
I'm trying to think if he was 4-time finalist.
No, he lost in the semis. He got Zach jacked.
Yes.
He got Zach jacked in the semis. In his was it? I think it was his sophomore year. Mm-hmm. Yes, his sophomore year. He won it as a freshman, a junior, and a senior. He's going to Ohio State. Is he going to be the starter next year at 125?
Andre Gonzalez is tough.
Yes.
So they might give Vinny that year. I don't know. We'll see. But the Latrobe to Ohio State connection continues.
Yeah. Pletcher, Ethan Smith. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and Kilkiri. Maybe there's more. Those are the 3 I can think of. It's a good pipeline.
Good. Look, it worked out well for Pletcher and Smith.
Yeah.
No pressure on Vinny.
No, definitely not. So, yeah, good stuff there. 132 pounds. We had nothing too surprising. Luke Simcox beat Maddox Shaw in the finals at 133 in AAA. Luke Simcox Simcox and Shaw both spent significant time up a weight this year, but dropped down for the state finals. And so they met in a nationally ranked final, and it was the senior Simcox, just a junior. He got it done over the sophomore Maddox Shaw. Simcox going to Penn. So
Penn on the rise.
The Quakers PIAA champ coming in not this year, but soon enough. Over there in 138, we had an incredibly deep weight at PIAAs. It was Colin Rath, Pearson Manville, and Dalton Perry, all ranked.
That is a tough weight.
In the top 11, yeah, in the country. And Colin Rath had to go through both Perry in the semis and Manville in the finals. He got it done. He won both those matches. He's a state champ, and really awesome. It's just a sophomore. He didn't win it last year. He was in another loaded bracket last year. He actually wrestled Colin Guy for 3rd last year. But yeah, he beat Manville. He beat Perry, and he's a PIAA champ. That is going to be a guy that is going to be super high on coach's list to call as soon as that recruiting period opens for him. Yeah.
And it gets talked about all the time, but it's always good to say again. A lot of state tournaments now, it's basically a coronation if there's a nationally ranked guy in the bracket. Not the case in Pennsylvania.
No, definitely not. We've already talked about ranked matchups that we saw at a few different weights. This one was crazy because you had 3 ranked guys. Awesome weight class there. And in Ohio at 138, similar type of thing. We had Omar Ayab beating Ryan Bennett in the finals. 2 ranked wrestlers. Ayab gets it done. He looked really good doing it. Also in New Jersey, another ranked weight class. Alessandro Nini was in there, but he actually fell to Tyler Vasquez. Vasquez going to Princeton. Nini, Rutgers. Two Jersey guys.
2 Jersey men.
And Nini has represented Italy on the world stage.
Oh.
At the U20 World Championships. So
I forgot about that.
Yep. Good stuff there. So yeah, really, really good results around the country at that weight class. That was like, in terms of national matchups, that weight class had them all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. 145 pounds. Colin Guy beat Mac Church in the finals. Really weird match. Really, really weird match. If you hadn't had a chance to watch it, go check it out. Mac Church gave up like 3 or 4 penalty points. Colin Guy got the only takedown of the match. So Guy wins it as a sophomore, and that's a pretty big win.
That's a huge one, yeah.
Mac Church has been top 5 for a couple years now, and so for Colin Guy to get that done, that's great. And now that 3rd, 4th place match from last year, Wrath and Guy, they're both state champs at different weights, and the future of Pennsylvania wrestling really strong, and those are a couple of guys that are leading the way. We've talked already about sophomores that have won this year, and some of them won twice. Aaron Seidel's won twice. We talked about him. We talked about Nate Desmond. He's won twice. Wrath Guy. That sophomore, freshman, 8th grade class in Pennsylvania is going to be it's going to be difference makers for sure. Pennsylvania is always good. The seniors this year are good. The juniors are good, but I think that younger group is going to be on a lot of people's radars very, very soon if they're not already.
We've talked about Vince Cornella going to Cornell, Silas Allred to Nebraska. Colin Guy, it's not in his name, but I think he might have to go to Penn considering he's from Quakertown.
He's from Quakertown. Yeah, I mean, he could be Quaker. He could be a Quaker again. So, yeah, he may have to decide.
Is his high school mascot the Quakers?
I don't think so. I don't remember what they are, though. I don't know. I wonder what they are.
The Panthers.
Yeah.
They're missing an obvious opportunity here.
They could have been, yeah. They could have been oatmeal.
They could have been the Interstate 35 Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Like in Iowa.
Listen, Interstate 35, I would not mess with those guys. That's the team from the streets. One particular street.
Mimi.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so up at a 150 in the 152 rankings, and man, 152, 160, these weights they're all jumbled up because some states you got 157 and 165. Some states you have 150, you got 150, 157, 165. You got guys all over the place. But Ty Waters got his second state title in Pennsylvania. He looked great. He is a prospect that West Virginia has to be really happy about. Now his high school career is over, so I'm really excited to see him on the next level at NCAAs. Connor Harrer won a PIAA title in AA, and Zach Hansen got it done in Minnesota. So congrats to those guys. Up at 160, we had Joey Blaze winning in Ohio at 165. Ethan Burden winning in Ohio at 157. So 2 Ohio State champs, same division, different weight classes. Josiah Queen was a runner-up to Louis Sergio, but Sergio, that's at 165. Sergio is actually ranked at 170. Queen's at 160, so no change to the rankings there. And then a little bit of craziness. Dylan Evans won his title in AAA at 160. He beat Sean Taylor in a bizarre match in the PIAA finals. It was one that came down to that rule that the riding time, or it was a riding time situation. Came down to the leg ride rule. You stand up twice, you're hit for stalling. It was the second stall call on Sean Taylor, so he lost in ride outs. Yeah, it was tough to see, but take nothing away from Dylan Evans. He's had a great career. He's going to Pitt, and Pitt area guys too. So excited for him at the next level. Excited for Sean Taylor, just a junior. He'll have his chance next year. He's also going to West Virginia. Same high school as Ty Waters and going to be the same college as Ty Waters. So good stuff there. 170, PIAAs was crazy at 170. I think a lot of the matchup that a lot of people were looking forward to at 172. That's the weight class in Pennsylvania. It was a AA state final between Adam Waters and Holden Garcia. These guys have split in the past. Adam Waters, just a freshman for Faith Christian. He goes into the match. Holden Garcia gets the first takedown. And then I'm talking about Adam Waters. There's 2 Waters. But this one has 1 T. The other one has 2 Ts. Adam Waters gets the escape. And he just chucks a headlock and pins Holden Garcia in the state finals.
I mean, you're not going to not.
Dude, that guy is fearless. I think he's going to be really fun to watch for years to come. So he won that rematch. That was awesome. And then Rocco Welsh looked awesome. State champ again, 2-time state champ. And really, congrats to him. Great work there. Louis Sergio won in New Jersey at 165. Simon Ruiz won in New Jersey at 75, he beat last year's state champ in the finals. That was Harvey Ludington. Ludington, just a sophomore, he's already got a state title and another state finals appearance. So good things coming for him for sure. Up at 182, we had Cole Hahn Lindemeyer got it done in Minnesota. That was at 182. The weight classes get really weird here. George Rhodes was formerly unranked, but he beat Brock Zorowiecki, beat Vincent Lee, so he comes in at number 10. Really strong performance there, but finished fourth. The other guys that finished ahead of him are ranked at 195, not at 182. So good stuff there. And we'll get to them right now at 195 in Jersey. This is where, we had some really strong performances. Michael Delegata, state champ. Anthony Harris was the runner-up, and then Vincenzo Lavalle was third. We also had Max McAnally beating Ryder Rogotsky in the Minnesota finals. Rogotsky bumped up from 182 to have that challenge of wrestling McAnally. He lost close in a duel. They ran it back in the state finals. Same result. McAnally won. So McAnally and Rogotsky 1 and 2 in the country. How often do you see a state final where it's 1 and 2 in the country? Not too often.
And at such an incredibly deep weight, you look at here, I'm talking nationally, 195. You look at Delegata won 190, right? And he won the bracket where Rhodes took fourth. Taking fourth in that bracket got Rhodes ranked 10th at the weight class below. And Delegata's at 14 at this weight.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
he won that bracket.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you the depth of 195 in the country right now.
Yeah. I was looking back through all the weights, or maybe it was yesterday, the day before, and looking at like which weight classes have the most freshmen and sophomores, and 195 is one that's out of the top 20, 15 of them are juniors or seniors. So it's like, yeah, these guys you're really familiar with, guys we've seen a lot. So yeah. By the way, checking out the chat. We got Keith Gothard in the chat. What's going on, Keith? Lamont MMA, stand up. We got Warrior Fitness, Jacob. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Okay, a couple more weight classes to get to. And then I want to preview the weekend because we got some awesome high school stuff coming up. 220 pounds. We got in action. Gavin Nelson winning it in Minnesota. Max Shulaw getting it done in Ohio. Dylan Russo getting it done in Ohio Division I. Shulaw was Division II. And to win, Russo had to beat Max Venadia, who's also a ranked wrestler. So good final there. Austin Johnson won it in Pennsylvania, down from 285 last year at 215. That's a weight that probably makes a little more sense for him. So congratulations to him. Really strong performance. And then at 285 at the heavyweights, we had Jim Mullen finishing his high school career with another state title. Looked great doing it. Sean Kinney brings home another in his junior year in Pennsylvania. He's ranked 4th in the country. Aiden Faulkner won in Ohio, and then Riley Robel won in AA Pennsylvania. So bunch of guys that have been excellent for a while, continuing to be excellent, and no huge surprises there.
And that was state tournament season.
State tournament season's over, but high school season's not. I mean, the high school events, they just don't stop. You've got to keep your eye on the ball in high school because NCAAs gets done and you can be tempted to, let's relax, let's kick our feet up a little bit.
No.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
The high school events start coming and they don't stop coming.
Yeah. How does it go? I can't remember that.
Back to the ground and back to the rules and hit the ground running to Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach, Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic, Northwest Regionals are all this weekend. Next week, you've got more stuff. There's Elite 8 duels coming up. There's Folk Style Nationals coming up next week. So there's no shortage. And then we've got the U.S. Open just around the corner. U17 and U20 brackets are going to be filled with ranked high school wrestlers. We've already got the registration lists coming out. So you just got to keep your eye on the ball.
I wish it is hard to plan out, but I wish high school guys and like those college freshmen who are going to be doing juniors had more than a month or 6 weeks to train freestyle leading into trials.
Yeah. It's the interest. I mean, that's the decision some of these guys make, is to I mean,
especially if you want to do NHSCAs or folk style nationals, like you're training folk style another couple weeks too.
It's interesting, right? Like some of these states, they get done with their high school state tournament middle of February. So a lot of these guys have been training freestyle,
Right.
But there definitely are those who are who have been folk style all the way. One of the first folk style match event I want to talk about though before we get into freestyle season, Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. This event it's incredible year after year. You get not only do you get these incredible matchups, but there is such state pride in Pennsylvania, and even in the Whippeal duel against, they always bring in another state. This year it's Ohio. There's so much pride in there. I don't know if you remember last year, Jared Kessler in that Whippeal match against Indiana, late down, boom, big throw, crazy event, and the crowd comes for the undercard. Like it's 80% full for the undercard, and then it's packed for the main event. People in Pennsylvania are built different for this event. They love it. It's super awesome. The historical matchups are crazy. I was watching one yesterday with Sammy Sasso and Brock Hardy where they're going back and forth, exchanging leads, and there's just so much awesome stuff in this event.
It gets tossed around a lot now. So-and-so versus the world, insert X team name versus the world. People love to say that now. But in this event, it truly is Pennsylvania versus, maybe not the world, but the country.
Yeah.
And they get to say that. And so I know a lot of people in Pennsylvania take a lot of pride in this event and how they perform. Yeah.
All right, let me here's another pop quiz. Another quick pop quiz. Pennsylvania. But versus the world is like, you see sometimes like people try to set up an all-star duel where the home team is just like they're favored. Like the other team's good, but the home team is favored. PA tries to set their guys up to have the hardest match possible. Right. Of all the wrestlers that are wrestling for Team USA in this duel, the lowest ranked wrestler is ranked 7th in the country. He's wrestling a guy that's not in the top 20. The next lowest ranked wrestlers, we have 2 guys ranked number 5. Both of them are ranked ahead of their opponents. After that, we've got, we've only have one match we have 2 matches total where Pennsylvania wrestlers are ranked ahead of Team USA. In every other match, USA is ranked ahead. So the fact that PA keeps it close and sometimes wins is just insane. Like it's just crazy. So let's get into these. It is super fun. It's amazing. You'll see. I mean, last year it was Joey Cruz, who was ranked really high, losing to an unranked opponent. Mason Leapart beat him in a crazy one. You'll see stuff like that every year, so you have to pay attention to this event. It's great.
Did Unger pin 2 years ago?
He didn't get a pin, but he beat Richie Figueroa.
That's right.
Yeah. He beat Richie Figueroa. That was a big surprise. Figueroa was number 1 in his class. So yeah, you'll see stuff like that. So they've got a women's match. This should be really fun. Abby Miles for Team PA. She's wrestling Destiny Rodriguez of Oregon. We've seen Destiny Rodriguez at who's number 1. Very, very tough. So that'll be a lot of fun. 121 pounds, Kale Nasdio, who is a Penn State commit. He's wrestling number 2, Mark Anthony McGowan. McGowan's going to be a big favorite in that one, but Nasdio has that.
Coming off a good performance.
Yes.
Peaking at the right time.
He is peaking at the right time. He's got that folk style background. And in his post-match interview at PIAA's, he said, I believe I can beat everybody. I believe I'm the best in the country. And he's have an opportunity to show it. McGowan coming off a national prep title, and I don't believe those two have wrestled, at least not that I could find.
And speaking of how much this means to people, especially in Pennsylvania and whatnot, I remember in years past when I've been at PIAA's, didn't get to go this year, unfortunately. Would like to go back. I like PIAA's, great tournament, but I remember doing post-match interviews, and literally it was like it is with Who's Number One, where guys are like, I think this earned my ticket to Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. I proved I can wrestle there, and maybe even unprovoked, brought it up. It means a lot to these guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Like you ask them what's next for you, what's your next competition date, and a bunch of them are like, man, I hope it's Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. Yeah, for sure. Okay, 127 pounds. We're gonna have number 7 Vinny Kilcury wrestling number 5 Braden Davis, and this is one where Davis has the higher ranking, but they do have history. They wrestled back in the 2021 Super 32 finals. It was at 106, and Kilcury got the dub. So PA, they're going to be leaning on Kilcury to get it done again.
But Davis going to Penn State.
Yes.
Kilcury leaving the state, going to Ohio.
Yeah, going to Ohio State. So it'll be interesting to see what do you do if you're a Penn State fan? Do you cheer for cheer for the guy that hopefully can
cheer for the home state kid or the future?
Yeah,
future hero.
Yeah, 133 pounds. Jaden Pepe, I believe is a 3-time Pennsylvania State champion. He's wrestled great from Wyoming area, and he's going to be taking on number 1 Cale Hughes. These guys wrestled in a match everyone remembers from 2019, a Fargo semifinal at 94 pounds.
Classic.
94 pounds. Hughes got the tech in that one, but long time ago, different style, and Pepe, he's going to bring it. He's going to bring it for sure. You got to lean on Hughes. You got to imagine Hughes is going to get the win. He's the favorite, but don't count out Pepe. He's been great. All right, 139 pounds. We got Tyler Kasich. He has been ranked number 1 in the country, but he has not been in the rankings this year because he's been taking a kind of gray shirt, whatever year. He's a senior in high school, but I think doing his school online and training at M2,
He's doing the Levi Haynes plan.
He's doing the Levi Haynes, the Nick Lee.
It's worked out pretty well for those guys, just saying.
Senior year in State College, training with the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club and at M2. But Kasich is going to have a match against Ryder Block. Ryder Block currently number 2 in the country. We saw Ryder Block at who's number 1. These guys have wrestled a couple different times, actually 3 different times. They wrestled in 2018 in a Tulsa semifinal at 84 pounds. Kasich won that one 12-3. It was a major. 84 pounds. They're half as big as they are now. They also wrestled, they wrestled twice. The other time was at 2021 Ultimate Club Duels, and that was, that was 60 kilos. Ryder Block won that one 7-5. That duel was incredible. If you guys will remember, it was the Seabolt duel against Team Seabolt was taking on M2. Duel was insane, and Block got the win there, so he flipped the script. So awesome stuff. And then we had let's see, what's our next matchup? 145 pounds. Number 4, Mac Church taking on number 2, Coy Biskins. These guys have met 3 times that I am aware of. They met back in 2019 at NHSCA duels at 100 pounds. It's a fun match to watch because they look like children. They were children at the time.
Yeah.
But you can go back and see some of these incredible NHSCA matchups that happen. And that one, Biskins was winning. He's up 2-1, I think, really late. And then Mac Church flips the script, gets the takedown at the last second, 3-2, wins the match. They've met twice since then, though. They met in the Super 32 semi, and Biskins won by major. And that was, at the time, it was a surprise. It was like, boom, Biskins on the radar, made the finals. And then they met again this year at Super 32 in the Consolations, and Biskins won again 3-0. So Mac Church trying to flip it around, trying to find that 2019 100-pound version of that matchup. So that'll be fun to watch that one again. 152 pounds. It's going to be number 3, Ty Waters. Number 4, Dylan Gilcher. They have not met, to my knowledge, in their careers. So that'll be a really fun match to see. I'm excited for that. And then at 160, it's going to be Dylan Evans taking on Ethan Styles. They met this year in Fargo in the Consolations. Styles with the pin in that one. But Evans, his best style is folk style, so he's hoping to bring it
advantage,
home. Yeah. 189 pounds is going to be Jacob Jones taking on Braden Thompson. Thompson number 1 in the country. We haven't seen him competing a lot, but he'll have one last high school folk style match before he moves into freestyle and then eventually on to Oklahoma State. And then at 215, Sonny Sasso, Gavin Nelson. Nelson number 3 in the country. Sasso number 13. This is going to be an interesting one, though. Real clash of styles. Nelson a big favorite, but Sasso
He's tricky.
It's very tricky.
He's got the length, he can do a lot.
Yeah. And the final match is going to be Leighton Schmick versus Matthew Moore. Should be a lot of fun at heavyweight.
Now,
yes.
Will they make the main event 172 and finish with that?
Good question.
Rocco Welsh, Josh Barr.
They may do it. Last year they finished at heavyweight, but you had Nick Feldman, and he was wrestling Harley Andrews, so that was like pretty fitting of the final match. I'm not sure what they're going to do this year. It'd be a good question. I'd love to know it. All right, so yeah, Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic should be great. NHSCAs is going to be really fun
also,
too.
at 172 is another instance of the Pennsylvania guy.
Yes.
He's leaving the state. The out-of-state guy coming in, going to Penn State.
Yeah, and I mean, man, we kind of skipped over Rocco Welsh, Josh Barr. We should not have, because they've wrestled twice. Both matches have been incredible. In the Fargo finals, it was Welsh leading and then Barr coming from behind and getting it done. And then they wrestled at Who's Number One, and kind of similar. Welsh got it done late and then held on. So both matches have been awesome, and I know both those guys want that match again. Those guys are ultimate competitors. They just want to compete, and so we're going to see it again, which is great.
For sure.
All right, NHSCAs is going to be really, really good, and we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but if you are, you got to watch this event, because not only are there a bunch of ranked guys that are going to be a lot of fun to watch, but you're going to find out the future of the rankings. You watch this event, you look at the podium, and those guys are more than likely going to be ranked in the future, coming up soon. It's going to be a whole lot of fun there. We've got some really fun matchups, potentially. They're going to happen here at 120 pounds in the sophomore division. We've got number 9, Gage Botero, number 10, Sebastian De Janeiro. They can meet potentially in the finals. We'll see what happens there, but that is a number 9 versus number 10 matchup at 120 that we could see in the same bracket. So that will be awesome. Another one we could see, Junior 126. This is interesting. Nick O'Neill of Malvern Prep and Mason Ziegler of Quakertown. They're both ranked. O'Neill number 8, Ziegler number 14 in the country. Both PA. However, they are a national prep guy in O'Neill and then a PIAA guy in Ziegler. So that's a fun potential matchup. And then another ranked matchup we could see at 126. In the senior weight class, Jacob Joyce, Rhode Island guy, and Kyson Garcia of Utah. Classic Rhode Island-Utah rivalry.
Classic.
They've been going back for ages. That'll be really fun. Garcia, Utah guy who's going to Penn State. He's a Penn State commit. And Penn State has that. They have a little Utah pipeline. Obviously, Cale Sanderson.
And brother Kyler has a club there.
Yes. Kyler's club out there in Utah. And so, if there's somebody that's worth recruiting, it's like, just call your brother.
Yep.
Just put it in the family.
Send him here. Come on.
Put it in the family group chat. Just like,
yep.
Just, hey, FYI, this guy's doing pretty good. And, so that's kind of what's going on there. Sophomore 145-pound division. We could have another ranked matchup. Bo Priest from Bakersfield, California, could see number 14, Anthony Evaniski. Priest ranked 9th in the country. So a really fun potential matchup there. And then at 152, in the sophomore division, we could see Claudio Torres and Dominic Bambinelli. That's the Florida Georgia line. Trying to settle that once and for all. Yeah. In the chat, we got Tyler Durden. He's in there commenting. He's pretty pumped about Faith Christian, that young team. It's an interesting team, right? A lot of young talent, and they're going to be good for years to come. And it's kind of like Bethlehem Catholic has been in terms of that. There's a debate within the state, like, do we like that kids are going the private school route rather than attending their local public schools? It's ripe for debate, right?
Right.
Yeah. And Durden bringing up Bishop McCourt, another young team. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him.
PIAAs.
But right. That's right. So NHSCAs, though, getting back to that, we've got right around 30 guys that are ranked in the top 20 already, and I mean almost 300 guys that are on the radar, really close to being ranked in that bracket. And then there are guys that that are not on the radar yet that will be after this weekend. You're going to see the bracket at NHSCAs, these brackets in NHSCAs, the kids that get on the podium. You're going to see them in Fargo getting on the podium. You're going to see them, making noise and having great success. So get to know these names now.
I remember.
So you look like a genius later.
The first time I watched A1, my first NHSCAs was when A1 Barrick Jordan got on my radar. He won freshman 106. You ever heard of him? Ironman champ, Oklahoma State commit. Now goes to Stillwater.
He's ranked second in the country.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, this kid's pretty good.
Yeah.
Got a nice carry, tough on top. This kid's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. We had from last year, guys that are in the rankings now that placed on the podium last year. There are 45 different guys that placed on this podium last year that are now currently ranked and a bunch of them are ranked really high. In the sophomore class, Aaron Seidel was in there. He actually didn't even win his bracket last year. He lost to Adrian DeJesus, who is from New Jersey. I think placed third in New Jersey this year. Nate Desmond won it last year at 113 in the freshman division. Gage Botero won it last year. He was a champ, and he obviously has had a ton of success. PIAA champ this year. Anthony Evanitsky won it last year as a freshman at 138. He just won a PIAA title for Wyoming area. Colin Guy won it last year at 145. He beat Vince Bouzakis. Cody Rutledge won it last year. He's been really tough in Oklahoma. He's ranked now. Dominic Bambinelli won it at 152. Gerald Miller won it. And then guess what? Went on to the Fargo finals, Ironman finals, wrestled Rocco Welsh there. Had a lot of success there. And Jude Correa won it. Those are all sophomores that won it last year as freshmen. So you got to be paying attention. Juniors last year that won it that are ranked now, Connor Harrer got it done at 152. Sean Taylor won an NHSCA title last year. We just talked about him. He was in the PIAA finals this year. Cash Henderson from Utah, another really tough Utah guy, won it. And then guess what? He won Fargo. So no surprise. And then seniors that won it, Matt Dolan got the title at 106. He's going to West Virginia next year. Tyler Knox.
Mentioning these West Virginia commits.
Some West Virginia commits. Yeah, they got some stuff going on. Tyler Knox won it last year at 120. He's ranked number 9 at 132. Cooper Haas from Florida, he won it. He's ranked number 7. He's ranked number 8 at 152. Rafael Hippolito won it. Dylan Newsom won it. Matt Furman won it. Thomas Deneen won it. Dylan Russo and Max Asiardi. They all won, and now they're all ranked, doing great. So it's just a tournament you have to watch. You got to keep your eyes on it because the guys that have success here, they're going to keep having success. Don't be surprised.
That's the whole point of this show.
Don't be surprised.
That's right.
So it's going to be a really fun weekend of wrestling. High school rankings, they're going to take a hit. They're going to have to be updated. We're going to have to change some stuff because there's going to be so much good stuff happen. Yeah, no rest, but it's great because all that means is we get to watch more wrestling. And JD's going to come to your house, and he's going to force your eyes open, and he's going to make you watch all this good wrestling. He's bird boxing you for Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. That's Saturday. Yep. NHSCAs, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's all going to be awesome.
Great weekend.
Yeah, super fun weekend. There's so much to look forward to. So much more NCAA stuff to go back and rewatch. It's never the end of wrestling season. It's always wrestling season.
Wrestling season doesn't sleep.
And you shouldn't either. We should. But not when NHSCAs and Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic are going on. Go ahead, check them out. I'm excited. Can't wait. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For JD Raider, I'm David Bray. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.